Imagine a life where your thoughts aren't truly your own, where your deepest desires are subtly planted by unseen hands, and where the very fabric of your individuality is slowly, quietly being unraveled. This isn't science fiction. It's the subtle, pervasive reality of modern life. A world that often rewards the superficial, the easily digestible, and yes, sometimes even the outright stupid, while quietly eroding the unique essence of who you are. We live in an age of unprecedented connection, yet many of us feel more disconnected from ourselves than ever before. We're bombarded by information, yet starved of genuine wisdom. We are told to express ourselves, yet pressured to conform to an ever-shifting ideal. This isn't an accident. It's a consequence of systems and forces that, while often unintentional, conspire to dull our critical edge and homogenize our existence. And the cost, the truly devastating cost, is the loss of your unique self. Think about it for a moment. How often do you truly question the beliefs you hold, the opinions you share, or even the desires that feel so intensely personal? How many of them have been gently, almost imperceptibly, filtered and shaped by the endless stream of content, trends, and collective narratives that surround us every single day? We often believe we are free thinkers, masters of our own minds, but the reality is far more complex and, frankly, a little unnerving. The erosion of individuality begins with conformity, a powerful, almost primal human instinct. We are social creatures wired to belong, and in modern society, belonging often means blending in, adopting the popular stance, and avoiding anything that might make us stand out in a way that risks ostracization. Consider the classic Asch conformity experiment from psychology, a simple yet profound study. Participants were asked to identify which of three lines matched a reference line. Sounds easy, right? But here's the twist. Most of the other people in the room were actors, instructed to give the wrong answer. Faced with a unanimous incorrect majority, a significant number of participants, despite knowing the correct answer, chose to conform, to give the obviously wrong answer, just to fit in. Now, extend that to the infinitely more complex world we inhabit today. It's not just about matching lines, it's about matching opinions on everything from politics to personal values, from fashion to philosophy. The pressure to align with the group, whether that's your social media feed, your friend circle, or the prevailing cultural narrative, is immense. And the reward for this conformity is often instant validation, likes, shares, acceptance, a sense of not being alone. But the price, dear friend, is a piece of your independent thought, a sliver of your individuality. This brings us to the second, more insidious part of our discussion, how modern life often rewards stupidity. And by stupidity, I don't mean a lack of intelligence, but rather a lack of critical thinking, a comfort with superficiality, and a willingness to accept easy answers over complex truths. Why would society reward this? Because it makes you easier to market to, easier to manage, and easier to influence. Look at our information landscape. We live in an age of unprecedented access to knowledge, yet nuance is dying a slow, painful death. Social media algorithms designed to keep your attention prioritize engagement. And what generates engagement? Often, it's outrage, sensationalism, and simplistic narratives that confirm existing biases rather than challenging them. Think about how often a complex issue is reduced to a soundbite, a viral meme, or a hot take that fits neatly into a 280-character tweet. Deep thought, careful research, and empathetic understanding take time, effort, and often lead to conclusions that aren't black and white. These aren't as shareable, as clickable, as instantly gratifying. So, the content that rises to the top, the content that gets rewarded with millions of views and viral status, is often the loudest, the most provocative, the least reflective. It's an echo chamber of superficiality where quick judgments replace genuine understanding and emotional reactions trump reasoned debate. When you constantly consume this kind of content, your brain adapts. It becomes less accustomed to grappling with complexity and more comfortable with the instant hit of a simple, often inflammatory idea. You're not being asked to think. You're being asked to react. And reacting without thinking is a dangerous path for individuality. Consider the pervasive influence of consumerism, another powerful force shaping our identities. Advertising doesn't just sell products, it sells lifestyles, aspirations, and ultimately, identities. We're constantly told that we are incomplete without this new gadget, this trendy outfit, this exotic experience. Our sense of self becomes intertwined with what we own, what we consume, how we appear to others. The relentless pursuit of these external markers of identity means we spend less time cultivating our inner world, discovering what truly resonates with us, independent of what the market dictates. We start to define ourselves by the brands we associate with, the aesthetic we curate for our online profiles, the influencers whose lives we aspire to emulate. Our individuality is packaged, branded, and sold back to us as a desirable commodity. We chase trends, not because they genuinely align with our deepest values, but because they promise acceptance, status, or a fleeting sense of belonging. This is where the true irony lies. We strive to be unique, but often end up purchasing the same definition of uniqueness that millions of others are also buying into. We become a product of the market rather than a genuine expression of our authentic selves. Then there's the constant digital performance. Our lives, or at least the curated versions of them, are broadcast for an audience. Every meal, every vacation, every milestone, every opinion becomes an opportunity for validation. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, drives us to participate in trends, to constantly check what others are doing, to ensure our own lives measure up to the idealized highlight reels scrolling across our screens. This continuous comparison, this endless quest for external approval, shifts our internal compass. Our actions become less about what truly fulfills us and more about what will garner the most likes, the most positive comments. This creates a self that is perpetually outward-facing, desperately seeking affirmation. And what often gets the most affirmation online? The easy, the agreeable, the universally palatable. Nuance, complexity, unpopular opinions, genuine vulnerability that doesn't fit a tidy aesthetic. These are often ignored or even penalized. So, we learn to present a version of ourselves that is acceptable, digestible, and least likely to rock the boat. This might bring temporary comfort, but it slowly suffocates the truly authentic, quirky, messy, and unique parts of who we are. It rewards the performance of an agreeable self and punishes the depth of a real one. What do we lose when our individuality is eroded and superficiality is rewarded? We lose our capacity for true critical thinking, the ability to question narratives, to dissect information, to form genuinely independent conclusions. We lose the courage to stand apart, to articulate a dissenting view, to carve our own path when the herd is stampeding in another direction. We lose our creativity, our innovation, because true originality often springs from a mind unburdened by the need to conform. Most profoundly, we lose a sense of our authentic self. We become passengers in our own lives, driven by external forces rather than internal compass. This can lead to a pervasive sense of emptiness, a feeling of being lost even when surrounded by connection, a nagging suspicion that something fundamental is missing. We might achieve external success, accumulate possessions, gather a legion of online followers, but inside, the true self, the unique spark that makes us who we are,